The Balkans had fallen silent, but it was the silence of a storm gathering its strength. Months of war had redrawn borders, shattered armies, and left cities smoldering. Cyprus was gone, Kosovo was in Serbian hands, and Republika Srpska had collapsed in just 2 days. Out of the chaos, the Two Seas Alliance stood tall, celebrating its conquest in Bosnia. In Zagreb and Sarajevo, the mood was triumphant. They had cut away a Serbian protectorate with ruthless precision. To them, the humiliation in Kosovo was a fading scar, replaced by victory carved deep into the map of the Balkans. But this quiet was not peace. It was the pause before another strike. In Tirana, the leaders of Albania and Kosovo insurgents met in secret. Kosovo had been lost, but their ambition had not. Their eyes turned eastward. Macedonia, they argued, was the key. If it fell, Serbia would be forced to split its armies, and Kosovo could be taken in the chaos, but they could not do it alone. So the call went out. Tirana to Sofia. Macedonia is the gate. Break it, and Kosovo will fall. We stand ready by your side. In Sofia, hesitation lingered at first. Bulgarian eyes had been fixed on Turkey for weeks, watching for the slightest move. Yet Ankara had stayed still. No mobilization, no threats. The moment seemed ripe, and with ambition stirring, Bulgaria gave its answer. Sofia to Tirana. We accept. Macedonia will be ours. Kosovo will be yours. Together, we will crush the Shield. The plan was bold. Bulgaria would invade Macedonia, tearing open the defenses of the Balkan Shield. While Skopje and Belgrade scrambled to hold the line, Albania and Kosovo would strike westward, seizing what they had failed to win before. A double blow, designed to shatter the alliance from 2 directions. The Bulgarian offensive began at dawn, the roar of artillery echoing across the Osogovo Mountains. Columns of armored brigades rolled through the early mist, supported by mechanized infantry and artillery. The first spearhead swept toward Delchevo, striking border posts with overwhelming firepower. Macedonian defenders fired a few bursts before falling back in disciplined retreat. Villages shook under the treads of tanks, their inhabitants fleeing as the invaders surged past. By noon, the Bulgarian vanguard had taken Delchevo and pushed on toward Kočani. Their resistance stiffened. Mines exploded under the lead vehicles, and anti-tank fire from the hills claimed several machines. After a few hours of fighting, the Macedonian units melted away, leaving behind smoldering wrecks but not their main force. Kočani fell without a decisive battle. To the south, the second Bulgarian column advanced through Strumica. Unlike the northern route, this thrust met more deliberate resistance. Ambushes were laid in narrow valleys, forcing Bulgarian armor into choke points. Macedonian infantry teams with portable launchers struck from the slopes, inflicting damage before slipping away. Bridges were blown, forcing engineers to halt the advance and rebuild crossings under fire. The pace slowed, but the weight of Bulgarian numbers told. By nightfall, Strumica was theirs, and the road to Valandovo lay open. The third Bulgarian axis struck toward Štip, pushing west from the border. The town became a battlefield of broken streets and barricaded houses. Here, Macedonian militia fought fiercely, delaying the attackers for an entire day. But without reinforcements, even Štip could not hold. When the Bulgarians finally secured it, they found little more than ruins, and another retreating enemy slipping away into the interior. As the columns pressed deeper, the pattern became clear. Every town taken was empty of the Macedonian main force. Resistance was fierce but fragmented, just enough to bleed time and equipment. Reports streamed back to Sofia, warning of the unnatural ease of the advance. Yet the High Command dismissed the doubts. By the third day, Bulgarian forces had crossed the Bregalnica River. Southeastern Macedonia was firmly in their hands. Supply convoys rushed to keep up, clogging the mountain roads with fuel trucks and ammunition haulers. The front lines now reached the approaches of the Vardar River. From Skopje to Veles, Macedonian land lay open before them. And still, the Macedonian army had not shown itself. And all that with a reason, because the secret plan of the Two Seas Alliance was a mirage. The messages, cloaked in codes the Albanians thought unbreakable, were already known to the Balkan Shield. A compromised aide had been leaking ciphers for months. Within hours of the correspondence, the words of Sofia and Tirana were laid out on the desks of commanders in Belgrade. The news struck like thunder. A trap was being laid for them. But instead of panic, the Shield saw opportunity. They would not resist Bulgaria at the border. They would let them come. The east of Macedonia would be abandoned, only token resistance left behind. The true army would wait west of the Vardar River, fortified and prepared. And when Bulgaria crossed too far, when its divisions stretched deep into Macedonian soil, the hammer would fall. And another card was yet to be played. From Belgrade, a new message was drafted, not to Skopje, not to Podgorica, but northward. Belgrade to Bucharest. Bulgaria marches south. Soon their homeland will stand unguarded. When that moment comes, strike. The Shield will march with you. In Bucharest, the reply was not immediate. Through the night, Romania's leaders debated. Joining the war meant great risk, but also great reward. At last, ambition triumphed. Bucharest to Belgrade. The Shield is our shield and our spear. We march with you. The trap was complete, and the time has come. From the north, thunder rolled. At dawn, Romanian artillery unleashed a massive barrage across the Danube. Under its cover, armored divisions surged forward, crossing pontoon bridges erected overnight. The Bulgarian northern frontier was nearly bare. Most of its strength had been pulled south. Romanian forces swept across the plains like a flood. The desperate order went south. Withdraw at once. Romania has invaded. Defend the homeland. Ruse fell within hours. Its defenders outnumbered and outgunned. To the west, Romanian tanks bypassed Pleven, driving instead for the highways leading toward Sofia. Entire villages surrendered without a fight. Bulgarian reserve units scrambled to organize defenses, but they were too few, too scattered. For Bulgarian troops deep inside Macedonia, the order was chaos. Columns that had marched proudly forward now turned in disorder, retreating under pressure of exhaustion and overstretched supply, roads clogged with vehicles moving east. In their haste, units abandoned positions, leaving equipment behind. As the offensive deepened, the Romanian Air Force struck rail lines, bridges, and depots, severing Bulgaria's logistics. Fuel shortages rippled across the Bulgarian military, stranding convoys and leaving entire battalions immobile. Panic spread in Sofia, where government officials received hourly updates of collapsing positions. The retreat converged toward the Black Sea coast. There on the plains outside Varna, the Bulgarian and Romanian armies collided. The Battle of Varna was brutal. Romanian tanks charged across open wheat fields, their advance shielded by rolling curtains of artillery fire. Bulgarian units, now defending their own soil, dug trenches and fortified villages with sandbags and anti-tank guns. The clash raged for days. Entire battalions of Romanian infantry were pinned down and by machine gun fire, while Bulgarian counterattacks with armored reserves struck into the flanks, only to be beaten back by relentless Romanian artillery. The skies above Varna became a battlefield in their own right. Romanian strike aircraft hunted Bulgarian columns on the roads, while Bulgarian fighters fought desperate dogfights to defend the city. Explosions lit up the night as fuel depots and ammunition stores were struck, painting the horizon in orange fire. By the third day, Romanian armor had broken through the outer defensive belts, forcing Bulgarians into block-by-block resistance on the city's outskirts. But the struggle did not end in Varna alone. To the west, near Shumen, another Romanian column pushed into the Bulgarian heartland. Here, the Bulgarians rallied with greater discipline. Artillery duels shook the ridgelines, and cavalry-like armored probes struck into open fields, attempting to outmaneuver the invaders. The clash at Shumen was savage. Villages were fought over 3 times in a single day, and entire hillsides were scarred with trenches and burning wreckage. Romanian units pressed hard but suffered heavy losses, and the battle stalled into a bloody stalemate. Still, even without victory, the Romanians had tied down vital Bulgarian reserves, ensuring that Varna's defenders stood alone. The twin struggles left Bulgaria staggering. At Varna, the city finally fell into Romanian hands, though scarred by fire and rubble. At Shumen, the Bulgarians managed to halt the Romanian advance, but only at the cost of thousands of casualties and precious equipment. For the Balkan Shield, the moment had come. Belgrade to Skopje. The enemy withdraws. Their strength is broken. Push east. Retake what was lost. Macedonian and Serbian divisions, hidden for days west of the Vardar, now roared into action. Bridges were crossed, artillery unleashed, and long silent armored brigades stormed into the abandoned eastern towns. What Bulgaria had seized in 3 days, the Shield prepared to reclaim in one furious counteroffensive. The war was shifting once again. Bulgaria had gambled on a swift strike and walked into a trap. Romania had risen, the Shield was advancing, and the map of the Balkans was about to be redrawn once more. And in the silence before the next clash, one truth was clear. This was no longer a war of borders, it was a war of survival, and the storm was only just beginning.